I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way. The school I went to was a Christian school called the New Whine of the Lord Chrissen School. If you did something wrong, most anything, you got paddled. Paddled hard, too. The Revrund Dick Hunter, that was his name, so help me. His mom and daddy didn't do him no favors when they named him that when he was a babe. Anyway, the Revrund Hunter said the Bible told him not to spare the rod and spoil the child. And no chillen was going to get spoiled on his watch if he could help it. Once the Reverend paddled a kid so hard, the police came and arrested him for it. While he was in jail, he wrote a bunch of letters, just like the Reverend Martin Luther King did when he was in jail, or so the Reverend said. Only Hunter's letters weren't about letting people go free, but rather about how it was all a colonist conspiracy against God-fearing Christian folk who was just trying to follow the word of the Lord that said to train up a child like you want him to grow up. And if you want a child to grow up peace-loving and Jesus-loving, you best beat the hell out of him every day, which never quite made much sense to me, but I ain't got no doctrine in theology neither. And how he'd rather his kids die than go to the devil. Well, the authorities let him go after a bit with just a slap on the wrist, though if you ask me, they should have paddled him good and hard. But after that, the things went back to pretty much normal at the old New Whine Christian church school. The work at the school was pretty easy. I would get it done in about 20 minutes, so the teachers would just keep throwing more work at me to shut me up, which was fine with me as it kept me busy. Better than being bored, which is the worst thing in the whole wide world. The hard part was keeping up with the dress code. Loose skirts below the knees, nothing tight, no nail polish, no flashy watches, no perfume, hair pulled off the face, and no sexy earrings neither. I tried so hard to get it all right, but I would always be forgetting something, like to take off my black nail polish, or my hair would come loose from the braid, or one day I had on as bland outfit as you can imagine, but they had a problem with my open-toe shoes. Too much toe cleavage, they said. I had to go home and change into shoes that was more modest. The whole thought process being for young men not to look at young women with lust, so on the flip side was that if they did, it was the girls that was to blame for tempting them. One horrible day, I had on what I thought was a normal skirt. It was at my ankles, but the vice principal called me aside and explained it was too tight. He'd been watching me a long time, but when he came up to him, he said he'd seen the boys watching me, though I'd never seen him watching me. I tried to understand the whole concept, but I just did not get what he was saying. But even harder than minding my Q's and P's was not laughing. They said it was a sin to laugh because every time laughing is mentioned in the Bible, it's something bad, and that nowhere does it say that Jesus laughed, so they take that as proof that he walked around all the livelong day with a big sourpuss on. That by itself was so funny I just fell out of my chair laughing, which of course got me in trouble again. After the whole paddling arrest thing, the punishment for school crimes was demerits, which was like black marks on your record. After so many of them, the student had to scrub the church vans or clean the school bathrooms. If a student sucked up good enough with apology and repented at morning chapel, the charge was forgotten. But there weren't no way I was going to apologize for my dress or laughing at something that sounded so pure tea foolish. I'd be damned if I was going to crawl on my hands and knees just for being myself. Well, that's what the Revrund Hunter said too, that I'd be damned if I didn't, only he meant it literal. And I was only talking figurative like. I ended up cleaning something almost every lunch hour and after school. But just like Jessica Rabbit says in the movie, you don't know how hard it is being a woman like I am. I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way.